Well, good morning. This is Morning with Sheryl, and I'm Sheryl. And I am so glad you're here with me today. Today is December 31st, 2025. And it's an interesting day, right? Because literally you are standing between 2 years right now, right? So today I really just want to pause, not rush into anything, and just sit in it. Um, I want to think about 2025 and how that was for you, for me. And then I want to look forward into 2026. Okay. Um, 2025 for me was an interesting year. I have 5 daughters and 1 son. Two of my daughters, well, one of them literally found love in 2025, my youngest. And it was a process to get there for her to literally love herself enough to allow herself to be loved by somebody else. And so that was just a really nice thing to watch. Started January is when it became official. She's been literally working on herself for years and years and years. She's my youngest. But she found a person. She found her person. And it was just so nice to be a part of that. So that was one thing. Another daughter who had been with her person for 6 years got engaged. And so we have a wedding coming up in 2026. So that's super exciting too. So those things were such a celebration. My oldest, my son, I know I've said this if you've been watching. We just had a gender reveal the other day. It's a girl. But they're having their first, they've been together for a very long time. They've been married for a long time and are just having their first, or maybe only, I don't know. But they're having a little girl, and that's so exciting too. So those things were such a blessing for the year and such a neat thing to experience. I did some traveling this year, so that was also a real positive. I have friends who like to travel, and so I did get an opportunity to do some really, really fun traveling this year. From a trip up the Danube River in Europe, back to sailing around Cabo San Lucas in Mexico in the Pacific Ocean, and seeing the sunset from a sailboat. Pretty awesome. So just really, really cool memories for me of 2025. I have a really terrible memory too. In 2025, beginning of December, I lost a grandchild. She was 11, almost 12. And she went to sleep one night and didn't wake up. So that was a down for the year, right? How I handled it is still in my psyche, is still something I'm dealing with because I don't know. When something terrible happens, sometimes you go into automatic mode or whatever. And I don't know. I question even now how I'm handling it. So I know it didn't happen that long ago. So thank you for the grace. I appreciate it. But yeah, it's a terrible, terrible thing. It is one of my daughter's children. She was one of my adopted daughters. Not that that matters, but I'm just kind of trying to put it into perspective for you. I had visited them basically every year, but they live on the opposite side of the United States. So I did talk to them on FaceTime and things, which was good. But I just feel there's some guilt that's going along with it, that I didn't get to know her as well as I could have, and that makes me sad. Um, so for me, there's a lot of things that I'm looking forward to in 2026. But I think that if I were giving somebody advice about all of this, um, I read a quote. Let me see if I can read it right. It says, "We don't have to carry everything forward to move ahead." And I liked that because it meant that I could leave some of my feelings, some of my um, just some of my negativity in the past and not have to pull it with me. Um, and so that's something that I am going to look forward to. I want to celebrate my granddaughter's life, not sit and waller in the depression and the sadness of it all. Really look at the awesome things that she got to do in her time here and try to be careful about questioning why. Um, because I don't think that's something that I'm going to have an answer to for a long, long time. Well, hopefully. um, anyway, so for 2026, looking forward, I think I really want to be just open to growing as a person. And I'm hoping that coming to you every morning, talking to people, having someone talk to me, right? Um, that means I'm looking at starting some therapy actually um, in the new year. I think will not only help me help others, but also help me help myself. Um, so I'm not asking 2026 to be perfect by any sense of the word. I just want it to be honest, meaningful, um, full of grace. That's what I'm looking for. So, so for you, whatever 2025 has left you, it could be some really awesome things, some celebrations. It could also be some terrible things that happened in 2025. I'm asking you to try to pick up all of the positivity that you have from what happened this year and move forward with that. Not that we forget the bad things, but we don't sit in them. Um, and as far as coming into 2026, we have very little time until that happens, depending on where you are. And maybe if you're watching this later, it's already happened. But no matter where you are in your timeline right now, give yourself grace and moving forward in whatever you're doing. Okay? I really, really hope that you have an awesome day. If you're celebrating today, that's super cool. But I also hope that 2026 is one of those that next year, when we look back on it, you talk about all of the positives that happened, even finding the positive in the negatives that happened. Alrighty? Okay. Thank you again so much for being with me today. I really appreciate it. And again, I hope you have an awesome, beautiful 2026. I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Have a great one.